Well, it's been 2 months, 6 days, 3 hours and 27 minutes since you walked out that door. I know you did it 'cause I said I didn't love you anymore. I never really thought I was enough. I never thought I'd be the one that's giving up. Won't you take me back? I know that I'm not strong enough. My heart's right off track. I know I've only got myself to blame. I've been thinking about the day you left, and I've been trying to forget. Won't you take me back? I never meant to hurt no one. No sleep for 6 weeks. I've been staring at my phone and now it's 2 a.m. I feel so weak, so I pour myself a drink and start the day again. I just wish I was enough, but I always find a way to screw it up. Won't you take me back? I know that I'm not strong enough. My heart's right off track. I know I've only got myself to blame. I've been thinking about the day you left, and I've been trying to forget it. Won't you take me back? I'm never meant to hurt no one. No, I'm never meant to hurt no one. Won't you take me back? I know that I'm not strong enough. My heart's right off track. I know I've only got myself to blame. I've been thinking about the day you left, and I've been trying to forget it. Won't you take me back? I'm never meant to hurt no one.
And that was 2 Months by Calum Jones, which is his latest single. And to tell us all about it is the man himself. Hello, Calum.
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. So tell us a bit about 2 months.
This is a fun one because actually I wrote it in like 10 minutes. It was a really like slapdash, here's a new song. And yeah, I'd literally just gotten a new guitar. I was down playing in London at BBC Introducing, and I had a wicked chance to play in the Yamaha showroom. And I was like, right, these are some cool guitars. So I got this mad, like insanely too good for me. I'm not good enough to play it, but I got this mad Yamaha like SA 2200 335 copy thing, and I'd just been playing it and playing it and playing it, and it was just like stupidly simple chords as well. So I had these chords going round, and then just kind of picked up the little 2 months. How does it even go? How does the song go? 2 months, 6 days, 3 hours, 27 minutes, or something like that. Whatever the countdown at the start is. And I thought, yeah, that's a pretty solid like idea. So I kind of just went with it, and then 10 minutes later, there's a song. And I kind of decided to go a little bit more commercial with this one, just as a track, just because I thought, right, I'm writing a song with 4 chords. Might as well make it like fit to everyone's kind of outpost. So it's got a kind of poppy vibe to it with some heavy guitars in there, just because I like noise. So yeah, threw them on, and it kind of just put itself together. I'm quite chuffed with how it came out. It was kind of a rushed job, but a worthwhile one.
Is that unusual for you to write something that quickly?
Do you know what? All the best ones seem to be the ones that I put no time into. They just kind of come out, and then I can spend months and months and months on a track, and then finish it, and then I'll be like, actually, it's really not that good. It's a bad song. So that's the writing style that I've kind of come to adapt. Is I don't try to write songs. I can't sit in a room and go, I'm gonna write a song today and then write one, because it will be awful. And they come at the most inconvenient times possible. I remember for my first album, One for the Road, which I redid for this album that's just coming out. When I first went in to record that Wasted Days album, I had a gap. I only had 9 songs, so I wrote One for the Road in the car on the way to that session. No guitars, no nothing. Just I think I maybe had the first 2 lines of the chorus, and I was like, right, I've got a gap to fill. So I wrote it in the car on the way to the session, and then figured the rest out while I was there. And it's now come to be one of the favorite songs that people come to gigs for, and like people actually started buying CDs just for that song, which is wicked. So yeah, I've got a really backward style when it comes to writing.
That's really interesting. You think sometimes it's too much of a pressure when you're thinking, right, okay, I have to write a song today, I've got this time? Or is it just the way, do you have something beside your bed when you wake up and there's a lyric or there's a tune or something that you can put down? How do you tend to work?
Oh, definitely. Like when I genuinely cannot understand these geniuses that can just rattle songs off. They've got the ability to sit down and go, I'm gonna write 5 songs today, and then they sit down and they write 5 songs today, because I just do not have the mental capacity to do that. Like most of the time, I can't even spell my own name, so I'm sitting trying to go, right, what should I do here? What should I do here? And then it just doesn't work. So yeah, do you know what? I'm so lucky in the fact that I get to do what I love every day, and I'm in the position that actually I can say I'm a singer. Period. That's just like the coolest thing. So I try not to pressure myself with, I've got to write this many songs and I've got to write about this and I've got to have this brand where I'm a rock artist, blah blah blah, because actually I don't. And that's the beautiful thing, is I've got the ability just to write music that I think sounds cool, and actually some other people think it sounds cool as well, which is the most insane feeling, to think that actually people go on Spotify and these streaming platforms and type in my name and listen to the music that I sat in my bedroom going, yeah, that sounds all right. It's like, nice. How wicked is that? So yeah, I tried to take the pressure off as much as possible. And I'm like 20 years old now, and I have 3 albums.
Yeah.
Which just shouldn't be a thing. To me, it blows my mind. There's all these wicked artists out here. Like some of my favorite artists are still like in the singles phase, and that's mental. Like music is such a subjective thing that people can take it or leave it, and because we've got access to so much of it now, I think a lot of people that are starting out and are in the same position as me do try and box themselves in a little bit too much, because they want to be that rock artist or they want to be that pop artist, instead of just going, it's a Sunday afternoon and I've just written a really stupidly funny country song because I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, my writing process is non-existent, because I just make it up as I go along. It's kind of a lifestyle as well, actually. I've got no idea what I'm doing half the time. So
That's really interesting, because you've been fairly prolific this year. As far as I can tell, you've released a song a month. Is that about right?
yeah, and I'll never do it again because it's way too intense. It's so intense.
Was that a plan that you had, that this year, 2020, you were going to do this, of releasing a single a month?
Yeah, it was actually, and it's kind of worked out perfectly. I know COVID has been a horrific experience for everyone, but as far as streams go, it's been fantastic for me. I kind of, at the tail end of last year, I decided for for my style, I was going to start like really putting the effort into production and stuff. So I found this awesome studio down in Essex where I recorded the whole thing, with an engineer called Mike Curtis. And it's his garage. He like converted his garage into the studio, and he's just got the most insane ear. I swear, like I was in that studio for 3 weeks, and I spent like half the time just tuning guitars. I would play one chord, and he would be like, "Nah, something's not right there. Tune it." So yeah, I went in and I was like, I'm going to spend the time really making this album as perfect as I can make it. And I decided I'm really not good at social media because I tend to forget that other people exist. I kind of live in my own little bubble. So I'm really not good with it. And I decided if I put a song out every month, then I'll have something to post about. And then, so we put the first couple out, and then COVID hit, and I was like, maybe I should hold off on the releases until gigs come back, blah, blah, blah. And then decided, actually, do you know what? No, I've got this plan. I'll just do it. So I've been punting, and I decided, COVID, cool. This means I can really get on top of social media and teach myself how to do it. I'm still awful at it. I've done nothing. I'm dreadful at it. It's the worst thing on the planet. I can't get my head around it. I don't understand. But yeah, so I decided I'll just keep punting these out and punting them out. And actually, like my streams have gone up like so much. I was sitting at like 1,000, maybe 2,000, and I'm up at like 35, 37K now on Happy now, which is it's quite scary. It's insane. Like I'm sitting at home going, nice. I've had my 9th cup of tea for today, but that's okay because there's 5 people listening on Spotify. Yes, and yeah, I've just been punting tracks out left, right, and centre. Hopefully, if things calm down a bit in the coming months, I'll be able to get back down and go and record a couple new singles for the start of next year, which will be fun because yeah, I miss it. I do like the studio time.
You mentioned, maybe thinking about putting a hold because you couldn't do gigs or stuff. Is gigging something that you've missed?
Oh, yes. I think I must have had about 4 or 5 total mental breakdowns so far, just without them, because obviously I've been playing, I've been gigging like consistently since I was about 15. So that's like the past 5 years of my life that I've been building and building and building and building and playing some like awesome festival shows and like proper gigs and stuff that I've been able to like hammer into. And I got to the point where I just nailed my solo set. I'd figured out the setup and all that sort of thing. I'd managed to acoustify the songs that I was recording to be able to play just by myself. And then just before COVID kind of hit, I'd set up this new band with the most insane musicians. Like, it's mental. I am now the least competent musician in my band. I'm the worst one out of the lot of them, and it's fantastic because it means I can just go, I'm just going to play the chords. You guys take care of the rest. All I need to do now is remember the lyrics, and I struggle with that enough. So you guys take that. And then COVID hit and kind of everything. I had my last show, which was a great show. It was just a little pub gig in Inverness. They've got a bar called Galleons. And it's the oldest bar in Inverness, and the music like scene, the community for music in there is next level. You go in there on a Saturday night, like it's one of those pubs where if you go in like through the week during the day, there's maybe 3 people in, and they're all 90 and they're drinking half pints, just to nurture them. And then you go in on a Saturday night and you cannot move. You cannot move for people. Like, there's one door in the stage. They've got a cage around the stage as well, so that people can't attack you. Basically, every time I go in there, there's always somebody that climbs over the cage and tries to take the microphone out the mic stand, and then it's actually mental. Like, seriously, next level stuff. So I had my last show in there, and it was fantastic. And then everything just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
So I was like, for the first sort of 6 to 8 weeks, I was like, this is awesome. I've got nothing to do, because I'd been gigging maybe like 4 times a week before that. So I was like, this is a mad holiday.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, I've got nothing to do.
Yeah.
This is horrendous. And then, yeah, it's just kind of kept going like that. I'll tell you a wee secret though. I did play a little illegal festival about halfway through, and that was a jammy one. That was fun. That was good. We found this little like massive back garden thing, and there was like a rave and stuff going on. It was quite insane actually. It was like a proper festival, and it was basically just made up of about 30 bands. There was no guests there. It was just all bands, because we were all tired of not playing, so we just decided to listen to each other. And yeah, but actually, without gigs, it's been a really, really tough time, because that was my income. That was like all of it. And then it stopped. So it was kind of like, right, what do I do now? Because everything I made from music went back into music. So as soon as gigs stops, that was like, money has stopped, which means that promo has stopped, which means I can't push my album as far as I used to be able to push it, because there's no money, because there's no gigs. So like, I really do get all the people that are posting saying, I've got nothing now because gigs have stopped. And that's not even just musicians. That's like events coordinators and like live engineers. And because I've like, at least I can sit at home and play my guitar and still be a musician. But all these like sound engineers and tech management people, they like, because live gigs have stopped, they're even worse off than me, because their job has stopped, whereas mine is just, I can play guitar and I can sing at home and I can annoy my parents because I'm really out of key. And yeah, so I would say, even though it does suck, I'm still really lucky to be able to do it. So my heart really does go out to all the people that are stuck and can't do it.
I think it's a good point you make, and it's something that maybe folk forget, is that when we're all missing, those of us that love live music, we're all missing, and we obviously feel for the bands, but you forget the whole industry that's around that, you know, and it's the folk who run the bar, and it's the folk who do the sound engineer, and then that's their livelihood. It's been really tough.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish on a bit of a higher note, a bit of a lighter note then. What have you been listening to during lockdown? Is there anything you can recommend to us?
Too many things. Obviously, actually, do you know what? The past kind of 3 weeks seems to have been the time for new music coming out, or at least the bands that I'm kind of striving to get where they're at. Obviously, the Hunna, they came out with their new album, I'd Rather Die Than Let You In. It's a really depressing title. It's actually a really depressing album if you think about it, but the drums are fast, so it's okay. It hides it. Who else? Bring Me the Horizon. They've got new tunes out as well. Nothing But Thieves. That's more kind of on like the rock, their rock bands and stuff. I listen to a lot of jazz as well, so like Snarky Puppy, Mansour Brown. He's like an instrumental guitarist who's fantastic. Who else have we got? Leanne Carroll, jazz singer. She's amazing. I had some lessons from her over the past few years. I used to go to a course in Skye to study jazz. I didn't really study. I just drank and sang songs.
That's about right.
Which is jazz. I suppose that is studying jazz, isn't it? Yeah. That's the module. But yeah, I listen to it as much and anything possible. I tell you what I am really excited for is Scots Whay Band. I think they're about to come back. They're like a trad. They're like bagpipes. So Scott plays pipes.
Right.
And he is the most phenomenal piper and writer and arranger for traditional music. I would say the Upsurge album, they've only got one album out.
Right.
The Upsurge album from Scots Whay Band is the best traditional Scottish music album, period. That has influenced so much of my music, whether it's the trad stuff that I play, whether it's the rock stuff, blah, blah, blah. That album is just top form. It's just spectacular. It's amazing. So yeah, definitely listen to that one.
I'm going to check that out as soon as we finish here, Calum. So listen, thanks very much for talking to us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. It's nice to speak to someone that isn't myself.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. And we're going to play another track from you now. This is Calum Jones and Hollow Hopes.
See me through the ghost behind your eyes. You stop dreaming, but you can't remember why. Folding pieces, screaming at the top of your lungs. Can somebody help me, 'cause I'm losing track of time, and I can't seem to find myself. When hollow hopes take hold, I know we can face it. If we don't go, we'll never know if we could have made it. I know we can make it. Speaking, I can't remember what you said. Break the silence, now the screaming is done. Can somebody help me, 'cause I think I'm losing touch, and I don't know how much I've left to give. When hollow hopes take hold, I know we can face it. If we don't go, we'll never know if we could have made it. I know we can make it. You said you'd rather meet the end than baby make ends meet. If the devil wants your soul, will you just leave it at his feet? And will you give in to the darkness just so you can get some sleep?